let's get our guest speaker on here. Guys, he is one of the co-founders, go-to guys that ATNU's one of our circle of champions. Great family man, great father, a great person, period, all the way around the board, willing to help anybody. I mean, just that kind of guy. Now, let me help you guys with something about what he said last week. I'm gonna highlight before we introduce him. He said what? It's better to be wanted than to be what? Needed. People will find a reason or an excuse. Which one are you? Ladies and gentlemen, our last Thursday of the month of August. What a way to close the month out. Let's give a warm welcome to none other than the Regional Vice President, the great Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
Mr. T, it is good to see you. Good to see all of you guys. So let me start where I always start. I hope that you guys do not take this call for granted. I hope that you guys understand that Mr. Thomas does not need to do these calls every day, and he does. And one of the great things about Mr. Thomas, we're not in each other's money. For some people don't understand, I am not in his downline. I am not one of his regional vice presidents. And you guys have heard me say this many times, that there was a specific event in Las Vegas where I was one of the speakers and Mr. Thomas was there, and I had some questions as a regional vice president wanting to go senior vice president. And I tell you this story because I hope that you guys are willing to do this for someone on your team someday. We stepped aside from the event. We went into the hallway, and he kind of walked me and talked me through a challenge that I had. Guess what that did for his money? Nothing. But here's what someone who's more advanced realizes. It does everything, because how many times have I told this story? He didn't help me for the story. He helped me because that's the person that he is. But I've told this story 20 times, 30 times. And it's true. Isn't it funny? The story never changes because that's what happened, right? So anyway, Mr. Thomas, I appreciate you. I appreciate the laughs that we have, the going on the incentive trips together. It's funny, we did a meeting last night. We have a new team of people that happen to be Russian speaking, and one of the things that came up in the when we were going through the overview at the end, one of the leaders, she's great, her name is Ellie, and I see Aya's on here with us as well. You guys know the positions, right? Customer qualified all the way to SVP platinum. And she noticed something on the slide that she had never really taken notice before. She goes, wait a minute. You guys do incentive trips? Stop. Tell me about that. Right. And it was so funny because I'm like, listen, there's a difference between a trip and a vacation. A trip you pay for, a vacation someone else pays for. Just get to the airport. They'll take it from there. So we had a lot of fun. But Mr. Thomas, I appreciate the opportunity to be on these calls with you all the years that we've done this. So you guys, I'm going to share some slides with you. And something that I realized, and I have it in my notes. You guys, I've gone over a lot of information over the course of 3 years with you guys every other month. I've gone over how to pique people's interest. I've gone over how to do presentations. I've gone over how to build organizations, how to look for leaders, how to identify leaders, understanding that recruiting is an invitation. It's not a demand, right? Recruiting and inviting someone to look at what we're doing is a sign of inclusion, not trying to get something, but to offer something. And those are very different philosophies when people talk about building a business. But here's what we covered so far in August, and then I'm going to dive in really fast. So put your seatbelt on. The first week was be the best version of yourself. Are you really being the best version of yourself, or are you on autopilot? Number two, the second week, we went over the invitation process. What is the process of inviting somebody to look? Remember, we're not inviting somebody to join. We're inviting them to look. We want to get their opinion. We want to see if this resonates with them the same way that it has with us. Number three, and this was a big one, is what messaging are you giving yourself? And I've had conversations with a lot of you guys, so much so that I actually trained that on my leadership call on Sunday night again, was the messaging that we're telling ourselves. Because there's no message more important than the message that you tell yourself, right? Doesn't matter what other people tell you. What message are you giving yourself? And then last week we talked about the extraordinary opportunity and the extraordinary results. Like, it is an extraordinary opportunity. What do you have to do to get extraordinary results? Not normal results, not ordinary results, extraordinary results. So, and Mr. Thomas, feel free to chime in on this if you want, but I'm thinking to myself, what is one of the things that is stopping people from moving forward? Could be ACN, could be any number of things. And as I'm thinking about it, you guys know one of the redeeming things of social media is there are people that put things out there and they kind of catch you at the right time. I don't want to say it's the algorithm, I don't want to say whatever, but it's just there's things that sometimes, good timing can make up for some bad luck. Who understands that statement? Like, good timing, right? Well, so here's the thing. I'm going through, and this was over the course of the last week, and I saw something. It was a series of ideas about a topic that's been on my mind, which was crazy. I've been thinking about this. What am I going to share with this group for Al Thomas after 3 or 3.5 years? And it was inside, and I'm like, what is it? How do I get some of these people to have what they need for their breakthrough? Notice I didn't say to get you a breakthrough, to get you what you need so you have a breakthrough. And here's what it came down to. And I'll be really curious, Mr. Thomas, or anybody, but obviously you. I think, it's an important word, I think we overthink it. I think overthinking is a massive, massive issue. Is he going to like it? Is he not? What's the reaction? If they like it, then what am I going to have to do? And do I have the skills? And maybe better not. I'm too busy, because if I talk to them and they like it, and I got to talk to them some more, and I got to get to my next appointment, and I got to get the kids to soccer, blah, 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 all that crap. Right? Right? Isn't that true? Yes or no? Amanda's like freaking out in the car. She's like, that's it. Nailed it. Okay. Maybe T as well. So I hope that what I'm going to share with you guys helps a lot. So I want you to remember this. This was from George Zalicki. Many of you don't know who George Zalicki is, and it doesn't matter. He's a legendary network marketer. He's part of ACN. And his partner was Artie Napolitano, who's senior vice president. They're both senior vice presidents. They pretty much override all of Europe. And here's what George Zalicki said: the thinker thinks and the doer does. The thinker thinks and the doer does. I've probably had 100 conversations about this with regional director Chris Sampson. Chris and I are great friends. I mean, I love the guy. I really do. And he knows, right, as his coach, or one of his coaches, it's something I've talked about with him. And Chris, I'm not going to share any personal details. I'm just going to say that as a general rule, when you overthink something, it feels like you're working. When you're thinking about ACN, who to talk to, putting together your list, right? You guys have to remember this. There's only 2 things that pay you in ACN, and there's only 3 things that we do. The 2 things that pay you are getting a customer or getting a new rep and helping them get customers. That's it. Nothing else pays you. The third thing that we do, which makes those things possible, is promoting the events. And by the way, this call is an event, right? So those are the 3 things we do. So I want you guys to think about this before I show you this slide deck. Who do you want on your team? You guys got to really answer that freaking question. Who do you want on your team? Right? Do you want thinkers or do you want doers? Now, I'm not saying have a bunch of people doing stuff and they don't know anything. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the doers, in my opinion, will always win. They'll always win. You could know the playbook frontwards and backwards. Front and back. I think I just invented a word, frontwards. You could know it front and back, cover to cover. But if you don't go on the field and run the play, you are of no use to the team. You guys heard me mention Josh Casey a bunch of times, right? Like, hey, Mr. Casey. So, he's come and done our events. Let me tell you something. I know he's a doer, because he could not have presented the business the way he did for our group if he wasn't a doer. Not possible. There are doers and there are thinkers. I'm really excited because we're going to have 2 regional director promotions today. In fact, one of them hit the system last night. So I want to just tell you, I'm not going to go into detail on her story, but we have a lady named Laura Zorns who's phenomenal, and she's going to actually be promoted today to regional coordinator. And last night we got the rep alert for Red Man. She's on this call, Jeanette, but she goes by Red. And I think you guys can see Red there. You can see why she goes by Red. Anyway, but we're super excited. And let me tell you guys something. I'm not going to go into detail on her story, but I'm going to tell you this. She's got some challenges. But she's got some challenges that I know don't ever come up to anybody except a very close circle of people. And I know that she brings them up to me because if she's absent from something or whatever, there's things outside of her control physically. That's all I'm going to say. But it never comes up. And she got regional coordinator done. Red, we're super, super proud of you and Laura. 2 regional coordinator promotions tonight. Really, really excited, right? So I'm going to go into this overthinking thing, and feel free to screenshot this if you want. It's entirely up to you. I put this together for you guys when I found it. So do you guys agree that overthinking is an issue in what we do? So you guys, here goes. And what I'm showing you applies to ACN. It applies to life, but it definitely applies to our business. So here goes. Overthinking is the biggest cause of unhappiness. It took this guy 9 years to figure that out. And here's 8 ways that you can beat it. Okay, so here goes. You guys ready? The problem is rarely the problem. 99% of the harm caused in your head is caused in your head by you and your thoughts. 1% of the harm is caused by the reality of what actually happens in the outcome. Most of the time, the problem isn't the problem. The way you think about the problem is. How many times have we heard some version of that from our leaders? Right? Most of the time, the problem isn't even in the problem. It's the way that you're thinking about it. So number 1, the problem is rarely the problem. Number 2, this is a biggie. Avoid self-rejection. Don't deserve the opportunity? Apply for it anyway. Don't think your article is good enough? Publish it anyway. Don't think they'll reply to your email? Send it anyway. Don't overthink yourself into self-rejection. How does that apply to ACN? I couldn't believe he was saying this. I couldn't believe Al Thomas was talking about what he was doing, going out, being in phase 1, talking to people. Guess what? He doesn't care. He's not overthinking himself into self-rejection. Oh, I don't know if I should talk to that person. They may not like it. They may not respond. Who cares? You have Larry Raskin, man, you have a miracle in your mouth for someone. When those words fall on the right set of ears, you can't stop that person from joining your team, right? So avoid self-rejection. Stop saying that you do not deserve this, right? Don't think your article's good enough. Don't think they'll. Who cares? Send it anyway. Do it anyway. Talk to them anyway. By show of hands, whoever thinks himself into self-rejection, who overthinks? Thank you. I got Sharian and I got a handful of others that are actually, you guys, you got to be honest with yourself. Otherwise, what I'm going through with you, it serves no purpose, right? You can't get a good swim from the side of the pool. You have to get in the pool. Right? So here we go. Number 3, silence and time. The truth is, most problems are not solved by overthinking or more thinking. You'll find most of the answers you're looking for in silence, in time, and with a clear mind. If you cannot solve a problem, stop trying to. Here's what that says to me. And I'm sure that Mr. Thomas agrees with this. We want you to try to solve the problem. But if there's a problem you can't solve, you have to employ the help of the leaders who have more experience. That does not mean every time you come across an issue, dump it on your upline. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is take a shot at it. Now, if you're brand new, you need to really let us do this stuff with you, in all the phases of it. But if you've been around for a minute, you guys take a shot at it. Chat with ACN. Talk to some of your peers before you try to just dump everything on your upline. If you can't solve the problem, then stop and then employ the help of the leaders that are here and want to help you. Does that make sense, everybody? Yes or no? But the thing about this is silence and time. The truth is most problems are not solved by more thinking, right? Look at this, you guys. You'll find most of the answers you're looking for in silence, in time, and with a clear mind. Why do we say take a little bit of personal time every day? Clear your mind, set some goals, get your activities ready to go. Here comes number 4. An important question. When you start criticizing yourself for past mistakes or seeing disaster around every corner, ask yourself, is there anything I can do right now to change the past or positively influence the future? If the answer is yes, do it. Take what? Take what? Take what? Action. And if the answer is no, be at peace and let it go. You have to take action or let it go. Everything else is self-harm. We're trying to put ourselves in a position where all of us have the best chance to succeed. And this overthinking part is crazy. The power of now. You're not going to overthink your way to a better future, and you're not going to overthink your way to a better past. All you have is right now. And what can you do with now can make right of your past and make good of your future. Make peace with yesterday, let go of tomorrow and grab hold of now. Right? That's that whole thing. What's the joke? There's yesterday and there's tomorrow, and then there's what's the gift? The gift is the present. Your present is right now. So what are you going to do today? I think this is timed so well because it's the last day of the month. It is the last day of the month. We have right now, and there's a whole bunch of people out there that can take advantage of a regional coordinator 90-day bonus that goes away at midnight tonight. I would say now is a very good time to start getting after this. So if you guys have screenshotted that, if you want it, here's the next one. Fact check your thoughts. I freaking love this one. Your thoughts create scenarios in your mind that reflect your insecurities, fears, and worries. Could I stop right there and we could talk for an hour about that, yes or no? Your thoughts will create scenarios in your mind that reflect your insecurities, fears, and worries. So it is important to fact check your own thoughts before accepting them. Because you have a thought does not mean you have to accept that thought. Because in highly emotional situations, your thoughts will tell you stories that aren't true. An event doesn't go the way you want. A presentation doesn't go the way you want. The person doesn't show up for whatever reason. It's not you, it's who they are. Now, did you create enough value in the invitation for them to be there? I don't know about that. That's between you and your coach. Did you do a good job at promoting? Did you do a good job at inviting? But regardless, you guys, in highly emotional situations, your thoughts will tell you stories that aren't true. You've got to check the facts, deal in facts. Acceptance is peace. Love this one. Number 7, here you go. No amount of anxiety will change your future, and no amount of anxiety will change your past. Peace is found in acceptance. You guys, we not only should you accept imperfection, you should be proud of it. None of us are perfect. Accept uncertainty. See, you guys, when Mr. Thomas was talking about how he was out and meeting someone, was he certain or was there uncertainty that the person would be interested? There's uncertainty. We don't know that. But you know what he has certainty in? In his ability to be able to communicate. That's it. You have to accept the uncontrollable. He has to accept the person's response. You have to accept the person's response because you can't control that. And the second you start trying to control something, people want to flee. Why? Because people don't want to be controlled. They need to learn that there's a system once they get started, but the system actually relieves the control because there's something that's been proven and been done. You don't have to understand, tolerate, or even forget something, but if you want peace, you got to accept it. And you know what's so great about that, you guys? We're all on a journey here. We're all on this journey together. We're trying to get better. We're trying to improve our skill set. That's why Mr. Thomas does these calls every single day, every single week for the last 72 years. That's why he does. I'm just kidding. But that's why he does this. You guys, I want to read that last sentence again. It's really important. You don't have to understand, tolerate, or even forget something, but if you want peace, you have to accept it. Understanding and knowledge will happen over time. You just have to accept that that's the way that this whole thing works. That's the way it works. Hi, honey. Health starts in your mind. You can go to the gym, eat healthy, do yoga, drink water, and take vitamins. But if you do not directly confront the negativity of your thoughts, you will never be truly healthy. Our health is measured on scales. Our health isn't measured on scales by the size of our muscles or the width of our waist. True health is measured by the quality of our thoughts and the peacefulness of our minds. So let me ask you guys a question before I move on. Is this an awesome opportunity, ACN, yes or no? It is. Can everybody on this call, if they chose to, could you go to the top of this company, yes or no? If you chose to, could you? Boy, your answer about that is super important, because if you don't believe that you can, I certainly can't convince you that you can. You know, whether you think, you know, you guys know the old thing, right? Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Whether you think you can go to the top, whether you can have SVP before or after your name, you know, you're right. And it starts in your mind. It starts how you think about it. Are you already acting and behaving at the position that you're working towards? I've had this conversation with Red and a lot of the others on my team a lot. You're not going to hit a position and then act like that position. You're going to behave and act and think at the position that you're working towards before you get promoted to that position. Who understands that? So I have two more to show you. Here goes. You either quit or keep going. They both hurt. Right? They're both going to hurt. You either quit or you keep going. I love the last line. Read that again. Right? I remember years ago, Mr. Thomas, you might remember this. We were at a national, and I think it was Simon Abood. He said he had done a training, senior vice president, massive organization, lifestyle out of control from this company, and he said something to the effect of, "Hey, you guys remember that guy that quit? Yeah, no one else does either." So like stick it out, stick it through, be that person that they're talking about, that you didn't quit, that you went through the ups and downs. So here's the last one, you guys, for the month. Excuses make today easy, but tomorrow hard. Discipline makes today hard, but tomorrow easy. You know, a lot of these are on social media, and I've seen some of you that have posted some of this stuff, Baker and some of the others, like really good stuff. One of the redeeming parts of elements of social media, stuff like this. But I think this applies right now based on today, maybe more than ever. We have this bonus. We have these events coming up. What are you doing today to advance your business? Excuses make today easy, but tomorrow hard. Discipline makes today hard, but tomorrow easy. And to me, man, like, look, you guys, you don't get in shape in a day, right? Your business isn't going to build in a day, but your business can advance in a day. In a day, guess what could happen by midnight tonight? And Al Thomas could join your team. Either you personally sponsored him or someone on your team did. You guys, I want you to just settle in with this for 1 minute. That happens every day. Every damn day, there is someone joining someone's team that alters the course of that person's business. How often does that happen? How often does that happen? I just said it. Every day. So if that's happening every day, but maybe that's not happening in your business, I think it's a simple solution. Here goes. Do something when? When? Every day. You guys, Tony Kupas, who's amazing, 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 amazing. He said years ago, because you realize that we get paid and you can build a business. Your job is to socialize with people. I heard one of my mentors, Al Sajay's, years ago. He said, man, when I heard that, and I could get paid to socialize, I would have aced every class. Like, how hard is it to socialize with people? Hey, how you doing? Where you been? Where you from? The easiest one in the world. Hey, where you from? I'm from Atlanta. Unbelievable. Why is that unbelievable? I'm expanding a company there. Hey, where are you from? Topeka, Kansas. You got to be kidding me. Why? What's big? I'm expanding a company there. You're from Denver. No way. No way. Why? What's going on in Denver? I'm expanding a company there. So where are you from? I'm in Vegas. You still live there? Well, I don't live there anymore. Do you have family there? Yeah, I got a ton of family there. You got to be kidding me. You've got to be freaking kidding me. Why? Well, I'm expanding a company there. Pick a freaking city. I'm expanding a company there. That's the opportunity that we have. Why don't we say that? Oh, you know. So, I mean, you guys, this is a big day. Last day of the month with this massive bonus. My challenge to you is how many are you going to pique today? To simply pay them a compliment, pique their interest. And, Mr. Thomas, that is what I have for you, sir. And been another fun month. I hope that people got something out of this month that they can use. And you guys here, let me also just really quickly, I talk about this every single time. I'm not kidding. You guys, this Tahoe event actually there's two events, the Orlando event and the Tahoe event. You guys, I'm just telling you. So you don't miss. And I know I put this up last time. I'm just going to put it up again. And you guys should all have my email. Here is the info for that. Hi, Antonia. Hi, I'm on Mr. Thomas's call. Huh? Okay, well, let me take a look. Hang on. So there it is. You guys screenshot it if you like. Huh? Good morning, love. So you guys, this event is going to be phenomenal. Look, Orlando is the big picture and the scope of ACN, the big training, the big vision, the big awards, the big recognition, the big announcements. And then when we get to Lake Tahoe, it is literally locker room. It is the stuff we cannot train there. So if you look, you guys, I'm telling you, the thing's going to sell out. It sells out every single time. And if you want the information, I'm going to put my email in the chat. And so when there are no more rooms and there are no more spots available, what should I say, Al? Don't complain. You knew about it. I told you on Mr. Thomas's call, right? And so there you go. You guys, I'm telling you, look, it's never happened where we have a national and a leadership within 3 weeks of each other. That has never happened. And some people, their businesses are going to absolutely explode when we get to the new year just because of that. So, Mr. Thomas, I know I'm speaking. I know I'm speaking on behalf of the co-founders. I know I'm speaking on behalf of the leaders around the country, and I'm definitely speaking on behalf of myself. You are a class act. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you do for everybody. You do one of the things that most people don't really realize, and that is one of the qualities of a really good leader is they are selfless. And for you to take the time that you've done for the number of years that you have to put something together like this, for all these people, whether they're on your team or not, it's just so blatantly clear that your heart and your vision for helping and serving people as a leader is in the right place, and we can all learn from it. So, Mr. T, I appreciate you.